All right. Welcome to the round 31, I believe it was, weekly wrap. Me and KP and back with Rob. Rob, how you doing, man?
Good, KP. Good. Hey, how's yourself?
Listen, football terms, not the best, United in the past week has been, not the best. They're winning in the 90-something minute against Brentford and draw, winning in the 91st, fourth minute against Chelsea and lose, and then, but that's where United are at, I think.
Yeah, it sucks conceding late, doesn't it?
It does. It does. It does.
Been there and often enough.
Yeah, it does. But yourself, how's it going?
Good. Just busy. I'm wearing the real treble scarf because I know we can keep this one.
The real triple scarf.
I don't know how long we'll keep the other one.
Well, you know what? Before we get on to anything that happened in the week, that was a question I actually wanted to ask you. Not to do with Man City per se, but like all the other stuff. Like Everton have been sanctioned. Nottingham Forest have been sanctioned now. I think they've been docked 6 points.
Yeah.
It's whoever it is, FIFA, whoever it is that are doing it, they're sort of saying that they're not going to hold back, are they? They're going to, so you sort of you worry because City have had this thing over their head. Oh, we've got all these charges. Something's got to be found guilty, doesn't it? So, yeah. Chelsea as well. Chelsea are you can't spend that much money and they got a stadium that only fits 30,000 people.
Yeah.
It's
and there's a few teams and because this is UEFA as well.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're going to open up a can of worms with Real Madrid, PSG,
Barcelona. We talked about Barcelona taking what they call them, financial levers. Like, how are they getting away with that?
And loyal Messi leaves because they can't afford him.
Yeah,
jeez, if you would have halved his wages, they could have.
I know. You're on $1 million. What was it, euros a week or something? Just
a week.
Yeah, I know.
He doesn't want to halve it to 500,000. Come on.
I know, it's ridiculous, isn't it? Ivan pretty much reckons I don't like reading that word, so he says that the title's going to Liverpool, and then he says hello KP and Rob. But we'll talk about that. I'm sure we'll talk about that now. But I'll bring up the results. So the first game we actually can talk about is obviously Rob's boys. They were the first game. So Crystal Palace 2, Man City 4. Selhurst Park. City, I mean, they got the job done, but we were talking about it a bit before we went on. Listen, they got it done, but what are your thoughts? Let's hear Rob's thoughts. He's the City fan, so...
I was a little nervous. Again, falling asleep. I think we've conceded now 12 games.
Yeah, that's that. Yeah.
Well, 12 games we've conceded first.
Yes, something like that.
It's just an insane statistic that's not good enough. That clearly isn't good enough. And then, I think Crystal Palace should have got a penalty. Jordan Ayew misses. I reckon we got lucky.
Jeez, that chance he missed.
And what De Bruyne pulled out of his repertoire.
Listen,
that was insane goal. Insane. Brilliant.
Yeah, it was a really good goal. So, listen, he keeps proving that he's going to go down, when he retires he was one of the greats, let's say. Listen, he's been so consistent. And I think that's where you put him on a high level because of how consistent he's been. He's been, I mean, and he just pulls goals like that out.
And the next one on his left with zero thinking time. I mean, come on.
No, he's
a big game player as well.
Yeah. Chris says, "Hey guys." Belinda Goodwin says, "Hello, how is everyone?"
Hello.
I watched it. Like I said, I watched it. It was the first game of the week. Listen, City and Palace scored, and I was like, "Geez, what's going on here?" It was a real good finish. They got him on the break. What I've noticed about City is not so much Stones because he's been a bit injured, but Diaz has fallen off a cliff. I don't know. That last year he was amazing. Like I remember saying to
Yeah,
you, I thought he was their player of the year. He was.
yeah.
I don't know what's wrong with him. They're just.
I'm concerned that the pace of the defense is just slow. I mean, that's why he brought Akanji on at half time
Yeah,
to stop the attacks down the right wing, and Akanji did.
yeah,
Admittedly, he almost gave the ball away. Oh, and that drag back that the goalkeeper had to do, Ortega had to do because of that pass back.
yeah. You
That's
know what?
insane. You need a goalkeeper to do that.
You
We
know
got
what?
lucky.
I actually don't mind him, Ortega. I'm gonna tell you what, he's a good reserve keeper. He's really good. So,
I don't know how long you'll put up with that as a reserve keeper.
oh, 100%, 100%. Ivan says if City win on Wednesday, obviously they got Real Madrid. Is that, I don't know if
Madrid.
is it in England, the first game?
No, it's
So
Spain.
it's in Spain. So he says if City win on Wednesday against Madrid, I'll say they'll be treble winners again this season. Do you know what? I said this a couple of weeks ago to John, I think, on here. I think the team that City have to watch out for is the team that they're watching out for in the league. I think it's Arsenal. I know it's a big shot because they've never won anything in Europe, but I don't know. I don't see anyone in Europe. You know, Madrid they've got that stature that they're the Madrid, you know, AC Milan and that, but Arsenal are really good. You know, I think they're the team to watch out for because they're not in the FA Cup, obviously. They're pushing them in the league. They're currently top. Yeah, I don't know. City won't want to play them over two legs, I don't think. They showed the other week they 0-0 in Manchester against them. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I think listen, I'm not saying, you know, it's hard for teams that have never won it, but yeah, I think they've got to watch out for Arsenal. I really do. They're just quick, like
I
you
think
said.
Arsenal will get over
City's
it.
pace, yeah, City's pace, and Arsenal they're just quick. It's so quick.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I think Arsenal will get over Bayern Munich. So
I think they will.
it's Bayern Munich are just, yeah, I think they've lost the plot a little bit, just a little bit. Not still a pretty good team, but yeah, Arsenal. I still think Liverpool win the title.
There you go. Yep.
I think their run in it's not easy, but I think Arsenal's run in is a bit harder. From
Well,
memory.
I know Arsenal have got to come to they've got to
Arsenal
come to Old Trafford, but I mean, it's harder for
and
Liverpool to
Chelsea.
go to Old Trafford than it is for Arsenal to go to Old Trafford, I think.
Yeah.
Like Liverpool struggled there last
Yeah.
night, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, listen, it's a good title race. I have to admit, it's a shame my team's not in it, but it's one of the best we've seen in a long time. So Ivan reckons Arsenal is Bayern's easy shot. I don't know about that this year, man. I think Tuchel's fallen off a cliff too. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know
a
what it is with
good
him.
it's a good squad. But then again, see Bayern's defense. He's still keeping Neuer and he's still keeping these other players. That see you later.
I mean,
It's gone. See you later.
he bought
Time
Eric
to move
Dyer.
on.
Rob, he bought Eric Dyer.
Yeah,
See
Yeah.
your face then? You laughed. So I don't know what to say about that. So, but anyway, saying that, so City they got the result 4-2, but I agree it wasn't the most convincing, and we'll talk about their fixtures later, but that takes us into the next day. We can talk about them first. Let's go Brighton, Arsenal. So Brighton 0, Arsenal 3 at the Amex Stadium. There's another one, man.
Yeah.
I think De Zerbi's been found out a bit. He's been
yeah. This was a polished performance. I just like the way Arsenal were playing the whole time. I think Mikel Arteta has actually found how to play Kai Havertz, and
I
that's
agree.
not up front as a goal scorer.
Yeah, I agree.
He's just floating, and I think that works for him.
Well, I remember when he was first coming through at Leverkusen. I think he was only 17. And I remember watching him, and I remember the media, they were like, this guy is a freak. They're like, he's going to be a world. And I remember watching him, he was a kid, and you're like, man, this guy's amazing. But he was playing as a number 10. He was never playing up front. So, listen, I got to admit myself, when they spent 50 million on him, I was laughing. But tell you what, he's been a lot better for them than he was for Chelsea, that's for sure.
And sometimes as a coach, you do that. You actually see, no, play him in the wrong position. I'm going to move him.
Yeah.
I mean, Arsenal bought Henri
Yeah.
from Juventus, who failed.
Yeah.
On the wing, he said,
True.
"No, I think you're an out-and-out striker, mate. You're a goal scorer."
True.
So,
But even sort of when like you go back to it, like Alex Ferguson, they told him not to sign Cantona. He's a bad egg, but he's like, I'll get the best out of him, and he ended like Henri. They both ended up being all-time greats. So yeah, I think you're spot on. But, I mean, 3-0, that's a spanking, really, away. So
yeah, and I think Brighton had pretty much a full squad. So
yeah, they did.
So yeah, they've just been outclassed. And when I look at it, I think they're in the bottom half of the table.
Yeah, they're not
Brighton.
doing well. Well, I think you can say it from like a coach's point of view. I think it's the first year when no one knows your tactics. You do fairly well, like De Zerbi did, but it's like the teams have worked his tactic out this year. It's not working for him. I don't know if that's the case, but I feel he tries to play from the back too much. His keepers always put him under pressure. Instead, I understand playing out the back. I like playing out the back too, but there comes for a time where you just got to kick it.
We'll get on to the Burnley Everton thing. Jeez.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that was that was comical. That was comical.
Have you ever scored a goal like that yourself? By shutting the goalkeeper down?
I reckon once, but I've scored ones from bad. I've scored ones from bad passbacks where I've intercepted it and then gone around the keeper like a lot.
Yeah.
But shutting down the keeper like that probably once, I'd say, and that's in in a long time. So
I scored once where he didn't see me behind him.
Yeah.
So we had an attack. It broke down. The ball was at his feet. Everyone had retreated. I was still behind him.
Went around.
I just went around.
Yeah. I mean, like I've scored a lot from just knowing other players that I know that their back pass probably wasn't going to be good and being onto a bad back pass, things like that. But I mean, man, how old is the saying? If in doubt, kick it out. You know what I mean? Like, it's everyone got to that.
Look, speaking of tactics, and I think Ange Postecoglou will get caught out next season for the same reason. They'll work tactics out.
Probably, yeah. After Arsenal and City match, Pep don't want Erling to shake Arsenal players. Ivan's saying, they were arguing about something, weren't they? Erling Haaland and Gabriel, I believe, but I don't know.
Haaland's a bit of he's a bit rough in the box, as in illegally rough.
Yeah.
I know you've got to be determined, but I reckon he's pushing and pulling and doing all sorts.
You know the thing about him, you can tell he's emotional, but you got to remember he's only 22, isn't he? He's you can see it affects him when things don't go right for him and that. But then you got to think, man, he's only a kid. So, Genwell says, what about if you deliberately block the keeper's view just by staying in front of him? Don't think you're actually allowed to stand directly in front of them anymore. I think the ref can tell you to move, can't they?
If you stand and the goalkeeper moves, you can't follow him.
Yeah, you can't lift a leg.
Right?
Yeah. I know that, but
if he goes to step around you and you follow him, then it's a booking.
Yeah, there you go. But if you just stay stationary and he, let's say, kicks it into you, that you're stationary. That's I know what I mean. Yeah. But like we said, Arsenal, that sent them back to the top. Pretty convincing win. Their flight at the moment. It's if Arsenal know if they win their last 7 games, they win the title. So
and they've got 10 goals or at least 9 goals on Liverpool. So it's an extra point.
Big time.
Yeah.
So, and the funny thing is, before we move on from them, I mean, a lot of people were having a go at Arteta for the Havertz signing, like you said, and the Raya signing, replacing Ramsdale. But, I mean, if he goes and wins the title, it's justified, isn't it? So.
Well, I mean, it hasn't affected their goals conceded, I don't think, anyway.
I don't think so.
Even if they don't win the title, it hasn't really affected that. So,
No.
but I feel for Ramsdale because he's a first choice keeper in a lot of teams.
Oh yeah, I agree. Listen, I think him or Pope, I think are both better than Pickford, but Pickford keeps getting selected for England. You know, but as we know, Southgate likes his mates. That's how it goes, isn't it? So
there was a rumor that Man United were talking to Southgate.
Don't make
Please let that happen.
I know.
He'll bring Eric Dyer in and have Maguire. Beauty.
You know, the thing is, John said that to me. He's like, "Oh, I'm so worried about all these rumors." And I said, "Really?" I said, "In reality," I said, "if you break it down," I said, "all those rumors, Nagelsmann, Southgate," I said, "they can't happen." I said, "because they're coaching in the Euros." I said, "There's no way a club goes and gets them when they can't start their job to end of July. You're mad if you do that. Like well, that's right, you know." So yeah, but anyway, into the next one. I thought this was a great game. I watched the highlights on it. Aston Villa 3, Brentford 3.
Yeah.
Aston Villa went 2-0 up.
Yeah.
And then they were 3-2 down. So, you know, that's a classic, isn't it?
And because I watched there wasn't many like missed obvious chances by either team. They seem to have taken their chances.
Yeah, I think they were clinical, yeah.
So, and then Villa came back at the end. Amazing game.
Yeah,
and Ollie Watkins is second top goal scorer.
Yeah, listen, he's doing really well. And listen, obviously Tony has come back and he's doing well for Brentford after his ban. So, I mean, England, if Southgate actually uses them correctly, he does have something else if it's not working with Harry Kane, doesn't he?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
So, whether he uses them, I think that's another question. But no, Ollie Watkins is not bad. He's got pace. He can finish. You know, he's not world class, but he's definitely a good goal scorer. You know, he's sort of like, you know, back in the day when there was like all those strikers going around, like the Kevin Phillipses, the people like that. He's like one of them. You know, still get your goals. You know, he's not going to, you know. But, you know, 18 goals, that's good, isn't it? That's really good.
Jermaine Defoe was under the radar for a number of years.
Those sort of that sort of bracket. That's what I mean, yeah. He was really good, Defoe. I thought he was really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I watched the highlights, and for a team you go 2-0 up. I don't know, did they think they'd won it? I'm not sure. But then to be 3-2 down, your head would be spinning, wouldn't it? Especially Emery. Emery would have been losing. He'd been losing his mind.
Well, they've demonstrated they're just not league winner material.
Yeah. Well, the thing about them is, I think they've got. Listen, Emery's a very good coach.
Yep.
But you also need the cattle as well, don't you? And it doesn't have a team that his team, I don't think, can win the league. You know, that's why. He could get a result against City and then go do something like this because he just doesn't have the cattle as well, I think.
And that's why I'm thinking he's concentrating on getting a European trophy.
Yeah.
And making sure he makes Europe again.
Yeah, I agree. So I mean,
remember the same squad as Steven Gerrard. The difference is
and
huge.
he was in relegation.
Huge.
You know, yeah, I know it's crazy.
Yep.
It's crazy, isn't it? Zakel says hi, KP and Rob and everyone on the chat. Hello, Zakel. How are ya? But yeah, cute. Listen, I think that's put a bit of a nail in the coffin for Villa though for the Champions League because Spurs ended up winning, which we'll talk about. But it's still 7 games. 7 games is a lot. A lot can happen. Tottenham have got to play City, Arsenal, and Liverpool in a row. So I believe City. I think 2 of them are at, I was about to say White Hart Lane, the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And I think maybe they're at Anfield. But you could see them losing all 3 of them, can't you?
Yeah.
Or, you know, it's just, you don't know. So, Kenwell says, if you match up Emery's side that beat United 2 years ago and the Villa side, who would win? Emery's side that beat, you mean the Villarreal team? that beat United 2 years ago.
Yeah, that was VRL, wasn't it?
They beat us in the final. They beat us in the final, so in the Europa League final. So I'm going to say them. But
I'd say VRL.
6 weeks left to the EPL grant. I think you mean the FA Cup finals, Cal. Yeah, we still got to get in it. I mean, we could lose to Coventry. I don't know. Who have City got?
Chelsea.
Chelsea. So City, Chelsea, and United, Coventry. Jeez.
Chelsea were dreadful.
Listen, I'm ashamed that we lost to them the other day because it's one of those matches where I was watching it and United should have won. Obviously, they threw it away. That's their own fault. But I just knew they would go to Sheffield United and not get the result because they're shit. Is the only way of putting it. They're really bad. Like watching them, I don't know. It's like they're either not listening or.
Yeah, I mean, I think those bottom teams have woken up a bit and actually starting to put a bit of effort. I think they're starting to see how much money they're not going to get paid next season.
Maybe it's either that or they've realised, wait a second, some of these big teams aren't as good as everyone makes them out to be. Yeah. We can just match them for some effort and we might get the job done. So, yeah, but anyway, we can go on to the next one. This is the one that Rob was talking about. We can talk about this goal because it can go down as the most comical goal of the year, I reckon. Everton 1, Burnley 0. I mean, what an error, eh, Rob? What
Seriously, you are fighting to stay up. And you take 1, 2, 3 touches. These goalkeepers constantly underestimate how quick these strikers can run in. It is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. When I saw it, I was like, the way he even went to clear it was wrong. He looked up and then he went to side foot it, but he side footed it right into Calvert-Lewin instead of trying to clear it that way. I was like, what is this guy doing? I could not believe it. But like I said, I get playing out from the back, but that's just, man, get rid of it. If you don't have an option, kick the ball.
See, playing out from the back means you can still kick to the halfway line if there's space there.
Yeah, of course.
And they don't do that. They seem to go left and go right and, right down by the touchline. Come on, guys. The whole idea is you play it forward. If you can't play it forward, you play it to someone who can play it forward.
Yeah, you know what? What sort of, not going to say it grinds my gears about it. What sort of makes me laugh about it is when they play from the right fullback to the centre back to the keeper to the left fullback, then they get it back to the keeper and then he just kicks it anyway.
Yes.
That's not playing around the back. You've done what you were going to do 5 seconds ago. Just you did it.
Well, that's why Mourinho was such a good coach. In that regard, he said, you play around with the ball. When you're ready, we'll sweep in and steal it and score.
Yeah, that's right. And everyone's like, oh, he's only had 20% possession. Yeah, but they were just standing there. They weren't even pressing you. They weren't wasting it. They weren't wasting energy. Yeah. Listen, I know what you mean. But we've said this. We've been saying this, I think, since round 10. Me, you, John. We've all been on here. Burnley are done, aren't they?
They are. They're awful.
They're bad,
I like Gembel's comment. Neverton.
Yeah, Neverton, I know.
No, Burnley are just basically awful. I have hope for Luton.
Yeah, I agree.
Sheffield might pull something out. I don't know. But no, Burnley are just awful.
I tipped Luton, and obviously they end up winning. We'll talk about it. But what makes me laugh is I was thinking about it. If 3 teams go down and one of them isn't one of the teams that had a point deduction, those other 3 teams should be ashamed of themselves. How can you let 2 teams that have had point deductions, that are relegation battlers anyway, Nottingham Forest and Everton, finish above you? That's how bad are you? That means you're so bad. It's not funny.
They gave you 6 points head start and you still couldn't catch them.
Well, I think Everton got -6 and Forest got -4. So, I mean, that's big when you're in a relegation battle, isn't it? That's huge.
Yeah, it is. It is.
So, company is bold and done, Ivan reckons. Listen, he did really well in the championship. I don't know. But I don't think you can expect to come up from the championship, play the same way you did when you haven't invested.
Yeah.
I think he's been very naive there. Him and the whole club, they've been very naive with that. But
they needed to go into the market. They need to get some players because there's a quality. Time and time again, every week, the quality's not there. They're rubbish.
That's right. Like you can't, it's listen, I agree. But funny goal. It's got to go down in one of the calamity goals of the year. So bring up the next one. This one, I actually tipped Fulham. I thought Fulham at home might beat Newcastle, but I think it was a late goal by Bruno Guimaraes. Newcastle got the job done, 1-0.
I tipped Newcastle for that one. I just thought they'd do it.
Yeah.
I wasn't confident with Fulham. I didn't tip Luton, though.
Genwell says Fulham were wasteful. Ivan says Ipswich can do better than Burnley. The funny thing about Ipswich is McKenna was Ole's Gunnar Solskjaer's assistant manager, and he went on his own, and could win a title, So, and I think him and Carrick are both doing well, Ipswich and Middlesbrough, which were both Ole's assistants. So I don't know what that says, but yeah.
Carrick played under a decent coach,
Yeah, well, that's true. 100%. That's true. So, but yeah, Genwell says Fulham were wasteful. Listen, I only watched the highlights. I thought they've had some good results. They might get the job done at home, but Newcastle starting to pull some results together by the looks of it. Isak scored a lot of goals too. We're talking about Watkins. He's done really well.
Yeah, he has. Yeah.
So, are Sweden in the Euros?
No.
They're not. Nah, so he's not going to the Euros. So he's going to get a rest, which is big for Newcastle. They'll be loving that.
Him and Haaland can go out to lunch, watch the Euros.
It's true that, you think about it, like Haaland's going to get he's getting 6 weeks off, isn't he? Same as Isak. Like they're getting, they're going to get a good break. I know you want your players to be at the tournaments, but you've got to take the positive out of that, I think.
Oh, look, as a coach, you're secretly hoping that some of those countries don't make it. Got to.
It's so funny you say it, mate. Listen, I say it. In my opinion, the greatest coach of all time, he used to pull players out of international all the time. Ferguson used to do it all the time. And they've come out and admitted it now. Giggs has said it. He's like, he used to tell me to say I had a sore leg or something, sore calf. Because in the end, Ferguson doesn't care about England and that, does he? He cares about Man United. And same with Pep, he cares about Man City, doesn't he? So it's a shame Sweden isn't in it. Guy Jokers is firing as well. Yeah, he is. He is. So him and Isak up front would have been... Obviously, it's the rest of the team, I'm guessing, that are struggling a bit.
Yeah, Norway... there's some good players in Norway as well, but
listen, there's some good teams in. I was looking at some of the squads.
Ødegaard's Norwegian, isn't he?
Yeah, Ødegaard's Norwegian. Yeah. They'll talk. That obviously the media, they always hype up England, but I was saying it to John, when you go look at some of the squads, like Portugal are stacked, France are stacked, England are stacked. I agree, they are stacked, but their manager's just shit. Belgium, I think they're pretty stacked too. I mean, they got a guy that can put the ball in the net. They got a good midfield. I think it's going to be a good tournament, to be honest.
I watched Lukaku again with something, and they needed to win, and again he failed. He's not a big game player.
No, he
keeps failing in the big games.
Yeah, he'll score 20 goals in a qualifying round, but when it comes to the tournament,
he fails.
Yeah,
he did it at the Champions League. He did it for Belgium in the World Cup when they had to win, and he did it again just recently.
He does it all the time.
Europe. It just doesn't fire.
What about Italy? How are Italy looking?
No, they're not ready. They're not playing as a team. They haven't got the right balance. They'll be lucky to get out of the group.
See, and then the other two I'm not sure about is, I think Germany look a lot better now that Nagelsmann's taken over.
Yeah.
So I think they're one to worry about on home soil. And then your other half, Rob, how are the Dutch?
They
I think they'll do better than Italy, won't they? They'll do better than Italy, though.
Oh yeah, they will. But they're struggling up front.
Yeah, probably. That's probably true. They've got Gakpo and Depay. That's it, isn't it? They don't really have.
Yeah, and Depay's injury prone. Gakpo's
Yeah,
not. Gakpo to me is a box to box midfielder. That's where he plays better.
yeah. I
So
always thought
maybe
he was a number 10 anyway. I didn't think he was a
no,
striker.
he is. Maybe they need to play 4-5-1, and really just have three attacking midfielders. So
Yeah,
yeah,
well, they've lost. They lost the defender. What's his name? That went to Arsenal too. Timber. He's out for the season. So
yeah.
true.
But they've
Spain.
got. I mean, they've got
about Spain.
decent defense. Spain again. Who's up front? Moriata. I mean,
Nah, he's terrible. Genwell makes a good point about Italy, saying they could be missing Tonali as well. That's true. I forgot about him.
Yeah, and Tonali
That
as
suspension.
well.
Yeah, that's true.
They seem to love Chiesa, but Chiesa is so hot and cold.
Yeah, he's very off the boil, I think. Yeah.
They just haven't got a proper squad yet.
Genwell says France will always be there. Listen, France's squad is unbelievable. It's like, I mean, they got Chouameni, Camavinga, like that's just in the mid, like two defensive midfielders. You got to be loving it with that. They're stacked. Like it's such a good squad, but yeah, it should be a good tournament.
I'm interested to see how Nagelsmann uses Florian Wirtz and Musiala together.
Yeah, I think Germany can do a lot better with him. But yeah, Ivan says, this is a good point by Ivan. I do agree with this. I don't know if they can do it again, but he says Italy will showcase in the main event. Last Euro, everybody count them out. They're like that. Italy are like, I always count Italy, Germany, those teams as, I always say, my dad always used to say, never count them out. That's, like the Brazils, the Germanys, the Italys, they're always thereabouts. So,
and it's a weird stat, but Germany's never beaten Italy.
Yeah, I heard that one. That's Austria, a dark horse, as Genwell says, isn't? Ranić is coaching them now, isn't he?
Ranić is coaching Austria. Yeah.
And didn't the other ones? Didn't Albania didn't lose a game in qualifying? Is that correct?
Yep.
See, they're
going to get overawed. No, the newbies are going to get overawed.
Yeah, I think they will. I agree.
But and Georgia will get overawed. But
yeah, I agree.
We'll see. Portugal on paper have got at least a top 14. Whether they do that or not.
I said that to you at the World Cup. Their team, when you look at it, is stacked. It's so stacked. Like people forget about it because they're talking about France and that, but their team has got so many players that it's just, So
the hardest thing is picking your best 11. I think they're in the Premier League alone. I think there might be 20 first team players, Portuguese.
Well, you got Jota, Bruno Fernandes, Rafael Leao at AC Milan, Ruben Diaz, João Felix, Ruben Diaz, if he's playing well, he's still first team player. João Cancelo,
Fernandes, Silva.
Yeah, Bernardo Silva, forgot it. Like their team's stacked, man. It's
Nunez
as well. Yeah, true.
Neves.
Yeah, both Neves, both of them. They're both good. So yeah, their team's stacked. Yeah, but
if they let Cristiano Ronaldo dictate and say, "Give me the ball," then they're going to lose.
That'll kill him. Yeah, that'll kill him. That's what I agree. But in saying that, on to the next one.
Yep.
This is the one that I said I tipped them. Luton 2, Bournemouth 1. Late victory. They were 1-0 down. Luton, it's a big result for them, isn't it?
It was 90th minute they won the game.
I think so, yeah.
Huge result. Huge.
He's doing well, the coach, isn't he? I think it's, what's his name? I forget his name.
I can't remember his name, but it's basically Ross Barkley and is it Townsend?
Yeah. Barkley's playing excellent. There's
those two,
Townsend and Barkley, yeah.
Ex England internationals.
Yeah, exactly.
They're using their time and their energy well.
Yeah.
So that was a really good investment to get those two in the team.
Well, listen, but no, I can keep going.
I was going to say they're running the show, and look out anyone if they're both on song, Luton will score 2 or 3.
Yeah,
guaranteed.
Yeah, like I was going to say, I mean, Barkley, he played for Everton at the top. He played for Chelsea for 6-7 years as well. He's no slouch. He's an England, like an ex-international, like you said. So, yeah, they're good players. Genwell says, I would want them to play for United right now. And I want them to stay up. I think everyone wants Luton to stay up. Unless you're someone that goes for their fiercest rival, it's like everyone has a soft spot for Luton because it's such a romance story, really. So, it's I'd love them to be massive.
Yeah, up the Hatters, absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. But that can take us on to this one. I actually didn't know who to tip in this, and I think I went the home team. And West Ham ended up getting the job done. They won 2-1 away, which is a big win. They went through a rough patch, but West Ham have turned it around. They've really turned it around. To win at Molineux is a good result, I think.
Yeah, Wolves had a goal disallowed.
Yeah.
Equaliser disallowed. We tipped Wolves just wouldn't hack it at all.
Yeah, well, I think John put him almost bottom. He goes, I've got to say it.
They lost so many players, so they've actually done reasonably well. And West Ham have got Europe this week as well, haven't they?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So that's okay. It's a good result. Good result for them. Wolves are not easy to beat.
Yeah, no, I agree. They've shown. Listen, I've seen in both games against United this year that I've obviously watched. They should have beat United at Old Trafford when they got robbed from a decision with Onana. The second one, it was probably United's best game of the year when we beat them. So, yeah, Genwell says, wait a sec, KP, about the Newcastle game. What did you think of the chalked off goal? Was that the one just before they scored? Because I know I'm trying to think now. I can't remember.
No, I can't remember it.
Yeah, they're saying yes. I didn't see it enough. Genwell, I'll have to look back at it. I'll let you know. Either Dan Burn push. Yeah, I'll have to look at it. I'll let you know in the Discord. I'll let you know. I'll have a look. Ivan says we want to farewell Klopp with an EPL and Europa title this season on a high note.
You've already got the League Cup, haven't you?
They got the League Cup, yeah. League Cup. You can have that. Just keep the League Cup. Yeah, I'm with that.
That'll do you. You've got one. Don't be greedy.
Yeah, this is very true. Very true. But yeah,
we could have another Manchester derby for an FA Cup final. That'd be cool. Two in a row.
You would think it's going to be that, don't you? I mean, United can't lose to Coventry. I mean, they can't. They can't lose to Coventry.
Based on form, that's what it should be. But I don't know.
The one thing I'll say is I don't think United would lose to Coventry, but the thing I'll say about the other fixture is City have struggled against Chelsea this year. I don't know why. Didn't they play 4-4 with them in one game or something like that? It was like a ridiculous result.
Pochettino has won more points against Pep than the other way around.
Well, I think I heard that stat goes all the way back to when Pochettino was coaching Espanyol. He used to get results against Barcelona. So obviously he knows something about the way,
And you'd play Palmer and Raheem Sterling because they'd increase their effort by 25-30% just because it's Man City. So
I agree. It's I didn't even know this until he obviously scored a hat-trick on Friday. Cole Palmer is from the City Academy, but they reckon he's a Man United fan. So they had to rub the salt in our wound even more by telling us he's actual Man United fans. But yeah, listen, he scored I know he scored 6 penalties, but it's interesting that City let him go when you look at it. Like, I agree. I don't think he's amazing, but I thought they could have kept Palmer instead of buying Nunes.
Yeah, too true. He's and Palmer's young, so
yeah, that's what I thought. He's an academy graduate. I agree. I was saying it we've got a Chelsea fan that comes in here and he was going on a bit, and I said, listen, I just don't see it with Palmer. I said even the other, he scored a hat trick against United, but it was 2 penalties and a deflected goal.
Yeah. Look, he got
listen,
lucky.
Yeah,
He got
he's
lucky.
good. I'm not saying he's not bad. He's not crap. He's having a good year. I don't think he's the world beater everyone's putting him out to be. That's
No.
me.
No.
But
As an 18-year-old, I'd be happy marking him out of the game.
I agree
easily.
because I don't think he
Quite
doesn't.
easily.
He's not bad with his feet, but he doesn't have much pace. So I think you could beat him. You know, it's. But yeah, Genwell reckons he would never have got in. So listen, I credit him for leaving.
Yeah.
He wanted to leave. He's playing first team, so
Well,
good
that's
on
just
him.
it. You want to play, so
Yeah.
I get
Yeah,
it.
that's right. So credit to him. That's what I say. But that can take us to the next day. So the first one we can talk about it. Man United 2, Liverpool 2. Obviously Liverpool went 1-0 up. Then I tell you what, 2 absolute crackers by United.
That was sharp by Fernandes. That was so sharp.
Listen, they had Rooney in the studio, and when Wayne Rooney says, and this is what I said to John, when Wayne Rooney says that's difficult, you'd know it's a good goal because, as you know, you played the ball coming across your body
Yeah.
to outside of the footer with that foot when it's coming
Yeah.
from that way that's hard. That's good technique, and he did it. But Mainu. That kid, Rob, I know you're a City fan, but he's a generational talent, this kid. To do what he does in the midfield at 18, in my opinion, that's harder than a striker that comes through at 18 and scores goals because he's controlling games.
And it's harder than a defender coming through at 18.
Yeah.
I was a defender coming through at 18, and admittedly, I tried to move forward as well, but one side of a defender is always a safe side. You know, there's no one behind you.
Yeah, exactly.
Midfielders 360 degree. That's next level.
Oh, listen,
He's a little superstar.
Yeah, 18 doing that. Like, I just hope it doesn't get ruined, because we have ruined some careers, man, at United. And I admit that as a United fan. It's but his talent is next level. But in saying that, like we said, the Bruno goal was a good goal, but it was gifted to us by Liverpool, wasn't it? It was an absolute gift.
Yeah.
Like, even if he side-footed it and it didn't look as good, it was still a gift from that Kwanzaa, I think his name is, the centre back.
Look at who was it? It was the Nottingham Forest defender, Barello. Yeah.
Yeah, yep.
He took a shot from inside his half.
Yeah, and he almost
And
scored.
the goalkeeper was gone. Goalkeeper was gone.
Yeah.
It just had to be on target.
Yeah.
And then he turns around and scores an own goal.
Yeah, no. Reborn, that's uncalled for, man. He says he's still a dog and whining rat about Bruno. Listen, that's how he is as a captain. You rather your if that's how he is, it's Bruno. When you look back on it, there's a lot of people that don't like him, but look at his stats. From when he's come to United, I think only De Bruyne has scored more goals than him from midfield and more assists. Like, so,
And was up to 100.
Yeah, well, but what I mean is, City. He's doing that for a team that are winning titles. Bruno's doing it for a shit team. So he's got to be doing something right. Listen, he does. I agree. He whines a bit, but who cares really?
He plays better every time for Portugal. Every time
he does play very.
Ronaldo is not on the pitch.
Yeah, I agree. And the thing is, I think the past 4 times he's gone for Portugal, he's scored as well. So he does well for Portugal. But yeah, listen, Liverpool, if we're being completely honest though, I don't know how Klopp, because I really rate him as a manager, has gone there twice in 3 weeks and made the same mistake both times. Going there, just being so careless in front of goal. Like, how can you have 29 shots? They had 29 shots. We had 14 shots and we had the same amount of shots on target. That's wasteful. How can you have 29 shots and you have 7 on target? That's...
Yeah.
So... Yeah, I listen, Will they do that against other teams? I don't know. They're still obviously one of the favourites to win the title, but I think they need Allison back. They need Allison back big time.
Who's going to win it? Who's going to win the title, KP?
I'm going Arsenal. I'm going Arsenal. It's because what I want to happen. But listen, if I'll be completely honest, and listen, Liverpool fans, you might never hear me say this again, but if Liverpool don't win the league, I think it's an absolute travesty because the offside goal that happened earlier in the year, they should have had 3 points there that they didn't.
Yeah.
And there was another goal that they got done. So really, they should have 6 more points or calculate it, 4 more points.
Yeah.
It's probably a travesty if they don't win it really because of those stupid refereeing decisions that, were not just a blight to them, they were a blight on the game, in my opinion. But, it's... From a Man United point of view, I want Arsenal to win it. That's.
Hey, look, Ten Hag can still get you an FA Cup.
He can. Listen, the thing, a lot of people are jumping on Ten Hag at the moment, Rob. But as you know a lot about Ajax. They're the team you follow. He's from there. People forget. Look at the players he's brought through: Mainu, Garnacho, Højlund. He played an 18-year-old centre back against Liverpool the other night, Cambuala. And our under-18s are actually ripping the league. They're undefeated. They're smashing the under-18s league. So he's obviously putting things in place.
Yeah.
It's...
This is why the club and fans just, I think, need to be a little bit patient because he could set up a process where he keeps getting the players off the academy. Yeah, and then he's got a progression for all of them. It's great. It's great to watch.
Yeah, I agree. And listen, when you look at it, he took over the worst United team in Premier League history, which that's actual fact. He won a trophy, got to an FA Cup final, and he's borderline about to be in another FA Cup final. So, listen, I think you got to back him. He doesn't make all the correct decisions. That's no manager does. And when you're losing, it's highlighted, as you know. So, yeah. Listen.
Oh, Anana pulled off a hell of a save.
Some of the goalkeeping. Yeah.
Some of the goalkeeping this weekend, Henderson.
Yeah, he's good.
Against Rodri's shot. I don't know how he got to it. It was a brilliant save. And there was someone else just pulled off this unbelievable save low down to his right.
Trying to think. There was a few good. See, Henderson is like Palmer. Henderson was with us. He's a Man United, born and bred. Couldn't get in because of that. Couldn't get in because of De Gea, and he left. He wanted to play first team, which credit to him, as well. So,
he did brilliantly. He really did.
He's a good keeper.
It's the defenders, just generally speaking, that need a kick up the backside because they are awful. Their positioning. They're not. Some of them. Have you seen they get the ball taken away and they're walking back or jogging back and not sprinting back?
Listen, the defending for the.
I don't understand that.
In saying that Liverpool were wasteful, Man United should have actually won 2-0 because the defending for the 2 goals that we gave Liverpool were the first goal. We didn't mark a person from a corner, which was, I don't know how that happens, and then Wan-Bissaka gave a penalty away that he didn't even need to tackle for. So,
yeah.
It's the defending is terrible, but these guys are professionals. It's unbelievable.
Yeah,
but
200,000 pounds a week. You kidding
exactly. Me? Zakal says Manchester City play good games. They absolutely do because they're at the top. Genwu says restart should have started with Van Gaal, and we're only starting now. But that's because our club is run by a bunch of, as we know, guys that don't care about football. Again, they're all about the money. So
no, but that's just it. That's my argument from a finance perspective. Good football will bring in the money. You have to balance that.
Well, that's what we've always been saying, Rob. We're like, if they actually cared, they would try win things because they'd make more money. But it's
sort of win more of these.
Yeah, exactly. Ivan says, I admire the United youth players. Just get rid of some so-called people that prone to injury. Yeah, listen, I agree. It needs a clean out. Chelsea's defending is another case. Well, we're going to talk about that in a second, Genwell. Ref and TMO gifted that pen to us, Ivan says. Now, listen, man, I think it was... I'm a United fan. I said this to Rob earlier. I think it was a penalty. You can't tackle like that in the box. You can't tackle like that in the box. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But yeah, in saying that, we'll go to the next one, which we've talked about. Sheffield United at home drawing with Chelsea 2-2.
Wow. What a result. What a result.
Listen, I know Thiago Silva scored, right? But
again, he scored with his foot 10 yards out, right? From a cross.
Yeah, I know.
Why isn't anyone attacking that?
I know. You know what? It's funny talking about it. The guy scored, but how is a guy 40 years old still playing for Chelsea at centre back? Like, I listen. And not that it doesn't bother me because I mean Ryan Giggs did it for us. He was playing, but he's playing every week, Rob. Not like every second week or He's playing every week. Every week. That's crazy.
I know. I don't get it either. I would have even one of my junior players, like say academy players, 18 or whatever. What you do is you say, look, I'll put you with him. Just push the ball past him and go. He ain't catching you.
Exactly. Like I've always thought that. Like you got a kid with pace, just tell him, get him 1-on-1 and take him on. Like, and you don't even have to. You don't even have to beat him with skill. Just kick it and run. Yeah, he's not catching you. Yeah. So.
I coached a player that once and put him left wing. I said, look, all you need to do is get it down the line, kick and run, and then get your head up and get it in the box.
Chris says, go Spurs. And then Reborn says, did you see James Maddison punched a player and nothing happened? I did see that. We'll talk about that in the next game.
All right. I didn't see it.
Yeah, no, it's... Yeah. We'll talk about it in the next game. It's... Coming from a Liverpool fan, like I said, when they've had these bad decisions against them, I know I can understand that it pisses them off. But yeah. Listen, this game, I said it upsets me because we lost to Chelsea 2 days before this, and then I knew they would go and not get the result against Sheffield United because I said it to you. They're either not listening to Pochettino, but they're just not very good. Like United, we're just not that good.
I don't know if this is a generational thing. I just wonder that these players, because of the money, because of maybe blame social media or whatever, but they're less concerned about playing as a team and more concerned about their own image.
It's more individual, isn't it, these days? It's more me than I get what you mean.
And the only country I've seen this regularly where they do play as a team and will square the ball even if they're 1-on-1 because someone's definitely going to score is Germany.
Yeah, because they don't care about any of that. They're all about the bigger picture. They always have been, as we know.
So this is where I think England inevitably in tournaments come unstuck.
Yeah. I was saying this to John about England, right? Harry Kane is playing at Bayern Munich. Are you telling me that the coaches over there and all the players aren't saying injure this guy because he's got to play against Germany? And John goes, nah, they wouldn't do that. And I go to him, they're absolutely doing that. I said, trust me, I'm not saying I condone it, but I've been in change rooms where that's said. It's not go break his leg.
No.
When you tackle him, put him into the fence.
I've put a fringe player on. As a coach.
Yeah, there you go.
And say, you every time he gets the ball, you be there, and I want you to go through him like a tank.
Yeah, that's right.
And I know because of his, because he's a fringe player, he might not time his tackle right. I know that.
Yeah.
There goes the threat of the other team. Game one.
That's what I'm saying. Harry Kane's having these ankle problems. He scored. Listen, he's a threat. He scored 40 goals this year. He's playing in Germany. The German players are going for him. Absolutely, they are. Reborn is laughing. He says Kane's gone to Germany to win a trophy, and he's not going to. I know it's pretty common.
No, they lost again. They lost again.
And the fact that Alonso has said he's staying at Leverkusen too, I mean, can he do it again? I don't know, but he's done something
He said
right
he's
this year.
staying.
Yeah, apparently he said he's staying, yeah.
I reckon he wants. I was hoping he'd say that because I reckon he wants to try and convince the players to stay and see what they can do in the Champions League.
That's what I think. And I think that's why they're saying now Liverpool are looking at the Porto coach instead of Alonso. So,
Right.
yeah, but listen, that could be hearsay. We don't know, but yeah.
Oh, look, rumours, we'll find out. We'll see.
Yeah, exactly. But
Because there's going to be some reputations won and lost at the Euros and Copa
absolutely.
America.
Absolutely. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, the Copa America is interesting too, isn't it? When you, yeah. I mean, yeah. Copa America. Jeez. Well, I mean, they won the World Cup. They're going to go out and try to win the Copa America, Argentina, don't they?
It's a wonderful summer of football.
It is. It's actually going to be good. Yeah, it is going to be good. But take us to the final game of the round. Ange gets the job done against Nottingham Forest 3-1. And I mean, the Dutchman Mickey van der Ven scored an absolute belter in this game. I saw it.
Porro's two defenders scored. Porro scored as
two
well.
defenders scored. But I mean, if Ange gets Champions League in his first year, he's done a good job, hasn't he?
Yep. Yeah.
I mean,
given where they were, and they were, I don't know, directionless. They didn't seem to have a game plan, which is fine for a coach to come in with a new game plan. Takes you a while to work it out.
Yeah.
So Ange, I'm not a big fan because I don't think he knows how to react, as Pep doesn't either.
Well, they say that about it's got plan A and that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
So we'll see what happens. I mean, even Crystal Palace on the weekend is a classic example that we should have won 4-5, 6-0.
Yeah, yeah. I know what you mean. It's funny. It's funny you say that. Like, it's like I look back to United. We used to be playing in the Premier League. We'd be playing whatever, 3 guys up front. We'd go into Europe, and Ferguson would play 1 striker. You know, there's always a different plan for different things. So yeah, I know what you mean. He's very much like that, Ange. You're right.
I mean, I did this when I was a state coach as well. You watch the other team and I think, oh, hang on, I've got a good squad of players. I've got the best in the state.
Yeah.
So depending on the type of team we're playing, it depends who I play. None of them are better or worse generally than anyone else. Some could do a certain job for you.
Yeah, exactly. So they're good at certain things. That's right. But I mean, they're in the box seat now. I think for 4th, and 4th and 5th are probably going to get Champions League. So
yeah, that's right, because of this
coefficient.
Totally ludicrous 36 team, 4 groups of 9, but it's 1 league, and
it's going to be 1 league, and then I think the top 8 will go straight through to the second round, whatever it is. The next 8 will go through to like a knockout against each other, and the bottom, I don't know what happens to them. Do they go to Europa?
The third 8. How many? 36. So the third 8 will go to the Europa League, I think.
Yeah, and then the bottom are gone.
Are gone. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah. Listen, I guess we've got to wait and see what the format's like, but
yeah.
What the question I ask about, I was saying it to my mate at soccer, is does it affect these little teams that really rely on these games for money, like for income? But I don't know. I'm guessing they still get the same amount of home and away.
They do. So the top 9 ranked, they won't play each other. They'll play one of the teams. And they'll play 1 in each section.
Yeah.
Right? Which is bizarre because that could
it's weird. It's a weird concept, but
that draw can't be rigged, can it?
Yeah, I know, exactly. I know. It's, you know what, in my opinion, I've always said this, and obviously it would never happen because of the financials behind it, but if they're going to call it the Champions League, it should go back to being the Champions League. The champions from each country, and then the rest play in the Cup, Winners' Cup, and stuff like that. It will never happen again because of the money, but it was way better that way because then, let's say AC Milan won the Serie A, they played against Man City, they played against, it was the Champions League.
Yes.
So, but. In saying that, we can go to the fixtures. Before we go to the fixtures, do we have a Rob's red card this week, or we don't have one?
Oh, we do.
All right, I'm going to bring up the graphic.
We definitely do.
Rob's red card. There we go. What's Rob's red card of the week?
In my day, when a guy was bearing down on goal, no matter who was in defence, if you caught him, you tackled him cleanly. For these stupid players, left-footers who tackle on their left side with their left foot instead of using their right, and they keep giving away a penalty. Emerson, you're lucky West Ham got the result. You are bloody crap. And then you go and push a player to try and win a header to score at the other end. You know about how bad you were. You are garbage. Get off.
I agree. I don't know why they don't swoop with the other leg. Like, if I tackle that way, I swoop with the left leg. I don't get it. And I don't even tackle, Rob. I'm a striker. So
It's not hard to tackle with the foot that comes round, right? It's very easy.
It's easier. It's actually easier.
Yes, it is. But these left footers are just useless.
Well, you know what I don't get about it as well is doing it the way they do it. You can actually hurt your knee. You can injure yourself doing it that way because it can get caught under you. If you do it the proper way, sweep around, it's actually better for you. It's safer, Yeah. Well, I like that one.
De Bruyne has scored with his left. Van de Ven scored with his left. He's both right-footed. How many left-footers do you see scoring that? When was the last time Salah scored with his right foot further away from 6 yards?
Well, Salah missed a couple sitters against us with his right foot last night. So,
there you go.
I told you this stat before. Do you remember it? Who has scored the most opposite foot goals in Premier League history? And when I heard it, I couldn't believe it.
Oh, I think it was Van Persie.
Van Persie. And I never thought he had a good right foot until he came to United. Until he came to us, and I watched him every week. But then when I watched him weekly, I realised that he was actually very good with it. And he didn't. Obviously, he had a very good left foot, as we know. But I couldn't. When I heard that, I couldn't believe it. I was so shocked.
Have you noticed who's been working on his right foot? Trossard.
Yeah, Trossard. Yeah, Trossard's not bad.
He's a left footer.
Yeah,
he's a left footer.
Yeah,
he's been working on his right foot. So kudos to him. I think he was a very good purchase.
Yeah, I agree. Listen, again, I'll let Rob answer this as well. He says, here's a red card for sure. He says, was it a simple Kwanzaa mistake or should Kelleher not have been so far off his line for the Bruno Fernandes goal? I think it's a bad defensive mistake. A square ball, personally, that's... Because Klopp has probably told Kelleher to play high. That's probably an instruction from Klopp.
Here's the thing. I'm going to go the goalkeeper. I'll tell you why. When you see the players haven't got enough room, the defenders, you back away to give them as much space as possible to pass back.
Yeah.
And he didn't do that. He didn't move.
Yeah. You know what I thought? What I get from it is I feel that Klopp is probably telling him to play high. And I'm thinking, why didn't Kwanzaa play the ball to Kelleher instead of a square ball to Van Dijk?
Because he was too close.
Yeah, maybe. Probably. Yeah. See, that's what Reborn is saying. He goes, definitely Kwanzaa. He goes, Van Dijk was telling him to play it to the keeper. But, maybe that's what I got from it. Why didn't he? Don't try to play a square ball when your body shape's not right.
And you can't see what's going on. No, true.
So,
and you can't hear a call. You can't hear a call with that crowd.
No way.
So,
no way.
By all means, play it back to the goalkeeper and play it on the side so it's furthest away from an attacking player.
Exactly.
But I don't think Kelleher actually did anything to say, "Give me the ball."
Yeah, probably not. If it was Allison, he'd probably be yelling at him.
Well,
Give me the ball.
you just point. Say here, put it here.
Yeah. The simple ball to Salah was the better option, Reborn's saying. There you go. Reborn's watching it from a Liverpool point of view. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Should Onana do better for the first goal? No, I don't think so, man. When a man is unmarked on the 6-yard line from a corner and it's an in-swinger, it gets a flick on, and then Diaz is there with no one around him and hits up. Listen, maybe, but it's coming at you so quick from 6 yards is not far. It's not far.
Yeah, it's not, but again, this is another criticism I got of goalkeepers. Mate, 2 steps and you're on the 6-yard line.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I agree.
You've got to get there.
Listen, I've said this the whole time about Onana. I don't mind him, but do you know how many of these goals De Gea would have saved this year?
There was one he saved. It was a soft shot and he pushed it away rather than just grab it.
Yeah, well, they showed, Ryan Giggs was talking about it, and he said if you watch De Gea, he goes, whatever, he had all these critics at the end, he goes, but if De Gea saved a shot, he goes, it borderline went out for a throw-in. He goes, he knew how to hit him. He goes, Onana doesn't. It drops in front of people. So
that's a junior training technique.
Yeah. So
that's what, and I'm a goalkeeper coach, and you say, look, you 100% sure you're going to grab it. If not, you don't save it. You actually guide it away.
Yeah, like far as well, so no one can knock it in. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. You knock it away.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But in saying that, we'll have a quick look at the fixtures. We'll get some scoreline predictions. Let's have a look.
Let's do it.
So it starts off with Spurs at St. James Park away at Newcastle. That's a tough game. That is a tough one, isn't it?
Newcastle 3-2.
3-2. So it's going to be goals. We're going to see goals.
Yeah, goals. You listen to me. I'm going to get these all right. Wait, I'm going to get them all right.
Genwell says 1-1. You know what? I'm going to back Ange. 2-1 Spurs. I'm going to back him. I'm going to go with Ange.
Only 2 goals, Genwell. You're dreaming, mate. You're dreaming. It's going to be more than 2 goals.
The next one is Sheffield United at Brentford. So Brentford at home.
Losers.
I think Brentford get Sheffield United. No, I think they do them probably 2-0.
Sorry, who's at home? Brentford.
Brentford home to Sheffield United.
Yeah, no, Brentford. Yeah. They're due for a win. I reckon this is it. Sheffield are not good. 3.
There you go. 3-1. Reborn says. All right. Burnley at home to Brighton. I could never tip Burnley. Even though I don't think Brighton are playing well, I could never tip Burnley. I reckon Brighton might do them pretty well. You know, like Burnley might score. I'm going to say 3-1. 3-1, I'm going to say.
No, yeah, I got to go Brighton.
Genwell reckons 2-1 Burnley. What the hell? No way.
Genwell, I think you got your numbers mixed up, mate.
Listen, I'll tell you what, if you're confident in it and put a cheeky...
put some money on it.
Put a cheeky $20 on that, you probably get real good odds on that. So Ivan says draw. Reborn says 2-0 Brighton. So, all right. Man City at home to Luton, Rob. What are we going to see from the citizens? What are we going to see?
Just after Real Madrid.
True. I forgot about that. They do have Madrid, and they're in Spain, aren't they?
Yep. Rotation of players. No, I reckon they're going to fire this time. I reckon they will get 5.
You know what? Listen, I think City are going to win, and I think City against these teams, there's always a chance they do that. Like 5, they could smack them.
Ivan and Genwell, I say draw.
They're tripping.
Get off your... Reeves is going 2-1 Luton. Get off your trolley, man.
Listen, Luton are at Kenilworth Road. They're definitely no easy beats, and I think City beat them in the last minute there at Kenilworth Road. But at the Etihad, it's completely different for those teams. I actually agree with Rob. I think Luton probably get done. I'm going to say probably 4-0. Yeah, and that might be being modest. I don't know, because if City get on top of them and go, there's players that haven't played in a bit. They're getting a game because of Champions League.
Yeah, this is what I'm thinking.
8-0 Haaland, extend the goals, Ivan says. Jeez. But yeah, listen, I think they get the job done. Don't like saying it, but I think it happens. Then that takes us to the last game in that lunchtime fixtures. Nottingham Forest at home to Wolves.
Well, we can watch these if they're lunchtime, can't we? Daylight saving is in.
I think now they'll be at 11:30, so we could do a watch along. Yeah, on Saturday. I'll let you know. I'll see what I can do.
I'm just thinking there might be ones at 10 o'clock or something.
It could be. I've got to look at it. Got to see what our fixtures is.
Nottingham Forest Wolves. Oh, I'm going to go Nottingham Forest.
You know what? I'm actually going to tip Forest too. I'm
1-0.
going to go one. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. 1-0. I reckon it's going to sneak a 1-0. 2-1 Wolves. Reeves reckons. Genwell says 2-1 Forest bounce back. So Nuno Derby. That's right, because he's coaching his old team, isn't he? Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Well, I think they were saying, what was the stat they said? I think that, what's his name? The captain of New Zealand, Wood, has scored 9 goals since Nuno took over. So that's...
Yeah, he scored again on the weekend. He scored 2.
So
I think he scored 3 goals in the last 7 days.
there you go. So 9 goals since Nuno took over. That's fair. Ivan says Wood is terrible. 1-0. And so I'm not saying he's the greatest, but Nuno's getting the best out of him. That's
the thing.
It's like what's his name we said when he was at Ajax, Sebastian Haller. Eric Ten Hag knew how to get the guy was scoring for fun. Everywhere else he's played, the guy can't score. So he knows how to get the best out of him. So, but that takes us to the later fixtures. United away to Bournemouth. We actually lost to them at Old Trafford. So, if that's anything for everyone.
Bournemouth, they're actually feeling a little safe at the moment. They're up to 40.
That's why I think they've dropped off, because I think they know they're safe.
Yeah. No, I reckon Man United will win this.
Yeah, I'm going to go United.
Are they playing midweek in Europe? No.
No. You don't have to rub it. You don't have to rub it in. You don't have to rub it in. Like
I was just checking.
We finished bottom of our group. We don't go anywhere. So
it's that mainland east of Manchester, right? Europe. Yeah. Okay.
It's that continent over there.
Over there.
2-1 United. Bournemouth tough at home. Ivan says 2-1 United. There you go. Wood should have scored 2 goals this week and hit the post from a yard out.
Oh, he did. He tried to smash the hell out of it instead of just placing it. What's wrong with his forwards? Just put it in, man.
You know what? In the end, they always used to say, I can't remember who it was that said to me, it was like, when they read your name in the paper on the weekend, it doesn't say he tapped it in or he smashed it in. It just says your name. So just put the ball in the net. Put the ball in the net. So Solanke at the double, Reeve says.
That didn't happen for me very often. I cut out all the newspaper clippings.
Yeah.
Both of them.
Why didn't he go with his right? I don't know, man. Listen, I was always trained by people like Robin that if it's easier to go with your left or your right, just go with whichever one's easier to score with. So, I don't know. Who knows? But that takes us to the next one. Liverpool at Anfield against Crystal Palace. That's early on the Sunday night. 22. That's 10:30. So we could do maybe a watch along that night on the Sunday night.
Yep. Crystal Palace.
Liverpool at home.
It should be 3-4 goals, but Crystal Palace has had this knack of just jamming some results.
But they've got a new manager now that I forget his name. I think he's Austrian, isn't he?
I'll give it to Liverpool, but begrudgingly. 2-0.
Yeah, I agree. I think Liverpool get there. But then again, like we saw on the weekend, Palace can, they scored 2 against City. But I think, I was about to say Liverpool's defence is a bit better, but then they were defended terribly against United. So. Listen, that's, I'm going to say...
With Robertson out, Van Dijk's not 100%. Trent can't can't defend a bloody,
Well, this is a question I asked
under
Reborn.
10s game. Seriously.
Dam is in the chat. How you doing, Dam?
Hey, Dan.
This is the question I asked Reborn because obviously he's our resident Liverpool man.
Yep.
Why did Klopp play the kid that made the mistake, Kwanzaa? Why was he playing ahead of Joe Gomez? He had Gomez on the bench. He's a more experienced player.
Big game too.
So that's what I mean. That's what I mean. So, but yeah, I don't know. Rory Reborn can answer that as we go on to the next one. So, a London derby, West Ham at home to Fulham.
Oh. Fulham.
Fulham at the London Stadium.
Yep. Europe's going to ruin West Ham.
True. I keep forgetting about the Europe. Yeah, because they'll play Friday, won't they? They'll play. What's that?
Yeah,
They might play
Thursday night.
Yeah, Thursday night over there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. See, Reborn is saying he had Konate and Gomez on the bench. There you go. That seems
well,
like
maybe Klopp's giving the kid a run and thought he'd do the job. I mean,
yeah,
you do that.
Well, they got you
sometimes.
maybe because they got what they got the Europa League this week too. So,
yep.
Yeah,
No,
I don't know.
I'm Fulham. Fulham 2-1.
What? I wasn't thinking about Europe, but you know what? I don't want to upset either moment, so I'm going to go West Ham. Gonna go West Ham, but yeah, that'd be. I agree. The Europe thing is tough. Conference League is tough, man. Yeah,
it has impacted Villa, West Ham. Who's the other team? Brighton? No.
It hurt Brighton early in the year. Yeah, it's impacted them big time. Yeah, big time. Dam says West Ham 2-0, and then Chris C says Leeds are best to Dam. There you go. All right, I'm gonna say West Ham 1-0. I'm gonna say 1-0. Paqueta goal, Ivan says. Paqueta, there you go. All right. On to the next day. Arsenal at home to Villa.
Oh, there you go. There's a third European. So, I mean, Arsenal as well, but Arsenal got a bigger squad. Arsenal 3-0.
Yeah, you know what? I actually think they're going to do them like that too. I think it's going to be 2-3-0.
At least.
They're just in form.
It won't be 2. It'll be more than 2.
I wonder where... Are Arsenal playing in London or if they're playing in Germany? I'm not sure. And I don't know where Villa are playing. I don't know their result.
Arsenal are playing in London, I think. I'm
not sure. I don't know where Villa are playing on the Thursday. But yeah, I think you're right. 2-3-0. The guys are arguing about who's better, Leeds or Spurs.
Arsenal are playing at home.
Yeah, there you go. And Villa, I'm not sure, but
it's
a day. They're getting a day less rest anyway, and like you said, their squad's not as big.
And Liverpool playing at home Thursday night against Atalanta.
There you go.
West Ham playing away against Leverkusen.
See, that could hurt them.
So that's tough.
Yeah, true.
Leverkusen.
Oh yeah,
Leverkusen. They'll be going after it. Villa playing at home.
Still, they're playing a day later. I'm with you. 2-3-0. That takes us on to the last game of the round. Chelsea. As Genwell said before, Chelsea versus Everton. Listen, mate, I don't know who to tip, man.
Everton have had decent results against Chelsea, haven't they?
They have.
Or am I dreaming?
No, I think they do. I think they have. Listen, everyone has. It's like United, like most teams have had good results against them this year. Especially they've been bad at Stamford Bridge. That's the thing.
You know, that could be a lockout, like a 0 draw.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Listen, you never know. Calvert-Lewin, I mean, he scored a goal. It's his first goal in a while. He's got pace. Could they
great goal.
Can they just say, listen,
great calculated goal.
But, you know, like we said, it's a mistake. But that could get a striker going. Just give him a bit of confidence, you know.
True. No,
and if I'm Sean Dyche, I'm going to say, listen, play the balls into the channel on Thiago Silva's side and Calvert-Lewin chase him.
Yeah.
Run him down, you know. So,
yeah.
But I don't know. It's a hard one. I'm going to say 1-0. 1-0. I'm going to go with 1-0. 1-0. And that takes us.
Unless Cole
Sorry,
Palmer's
go.
dad gives him a penalty. That's all.
Yeah, exactly. So that takes us to the end of it. And lads, a Reborn says, "Now Madison is a scumbag." Well, listen, he like threw a punch at someone and nothing got done. I don't know how you've got VAR and someone can do that and still not get in trouble. I don't.
Yeah, I don't get it either. They can pick up certain things that they seem to pick up what they want to pick up.
What makes me laugh is they can turn around and say, "Oh, Rob, you were deliberately handballing that," but they can't justify if you were punching someone. It's, it's. What do you think has to happen with the handball rule? Do you think it just has to go back to if you've handballed it and it's impeded where it's going, it's a handball? Because no one knows if you deliberately did it or not, do they?
Yeah. I'm sick of this crap. And hands to the chest and it hits your hands.
Yeah, like this. Yeah, I hate that.
No. If it hits your hands here, it's still handball.
Yeah, I agree.
As I'm concerned.
Because the thing is, you could go like this, and it could hit you here, but it could hit your fist and go flying. It's completely different to hitting my chest.
Hits here, drops perfectly down at your feet. No.
Yeah,
handball.
Yeah, I agree. All the boys are talking about some crazy stuff. Genwell says Jake Paul versus Tyson coming up. We're actually going to review that with Adrian on the actual podcast. Genwell, me, Chris are going to have Adrian in as a guest again. Reborn says Ben White was at it for Arsenal this weekend as well. Listen, I don't know what's going on with him and Southgate. Listen, he might not be as good as Reece James and Walker and that, but how he's not in the squad is beyond me. Like, I don't know what's going on there. So
yeah.
But yeah, in saying that, we've looked at everything, guys. We've reviewed the league. We've given our tips. Any final thoughts, Rob?
I had a premonition that Haaland would be gone by Man City by October.
He will be gone?
Yeah.
Like what? So what, Real Madrid or?
Yeah.
Imagine that. Imagine they get Mbappe and Haaland. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'll tell you what, I was...
Possible deal swap with Vinicius Jr.
Yeah, like that's what I was going to say. They're getting Mbappe. They got Vinicius Jr. there, Rodrigo, and let's say Mbappe. That front three is going to be, mate. And then imagine they went for Haaland or something too. Man, that's
no FIFA financial fair play problem there, right?
Yeah, and Gen was right, and Endrick, the young Brazilian, is going there.
Yeah,
at the start of the year too. So.
Yeah.
Listen, with Ancelotti as a great coach, they're going to be something to worry about next year, I'll tell you what. But in saying that, guys, if you're new, please remember to like, share, subscribe. The boys will be live with their football review tomorrow, and then we'll be back Wednesday night on the couch. Yeah, take it easy. We'll see you again soon.
Thanks, guys. Have a great week.